If you are a woman in business and you struggle to get money from your subscription clients or your recurring clients, all because you didn't follow up on them early enough or you didn't send them reminders that their payment was due, this is a system that you should set up that will solve that problem. So this system, we'll call it a payment reminder system. So you can use different automation tools to build this, but for this particular example, we are going to be using Make.com. So this is a simple draft of the workflow of that we are going to be creating. So the first thing is that it's going to look through your database every day and is going to look through to see who has not paid you. The next thing is that is going to calculate how many days it's been between when the person is supposed to pay you and when the payment will be due, right? To calculate that time, or even if you want to set it to calculate the overdue time, payment that is due, yeah, you can also calculate that. But for this example, we are trying to receive money or remind our customers or our clients that their payment will be due so time, just so they keep in mind so that they can pay to renew their subscription. So once it's able to ascertain the days between when the payment is due and that actual day, it knows what email to send to the person and also update the database. So let's simply go to Make.com and build this simple system. Once you get to Make.com, this is the dashboard that you will see. So just simply click on create scenario here. The first module you want to get here is where you hold your data about all of your clients, when they're supposed to pay and how much they're supposed to pay and all of that. So what you simply do here is click on Google Sheet. So let's say that all of that data is on Google Sheet and you are going to be searching for roles. So it will search for roles every time. So you add your connection here and you choose your spreadsheet. So my own sheet is called invoice collection, and for reference, this is what my sheet looks like. It has these details. Some of these details are not necessarily like invoice number, company name. Those ones will come from the invoice that you've generated. So if you have an invoice for the person, we are going to build an invoice generation system in our next video, but for this one we are just collecting payment, so you might not need this data, but if you have, fine. So what our main focus is on the email address of the person, of course the person's name, the amount the person is supposed to pay, and the date that the person is supposed to pay, and the status, as the person paid or the person has not paid. Those are the things that are important to us in this particular automation. So if we come back here, we are not going to be setting any rule here. But if you want to set a rule here, you can set this to only give you the payments that are due. Can tell you to return only payments that are due or overdue, whichever way you want to filter it, so that it will only send you payments that are overdue. But for this particular case, let's just leave it open because we are going to be only taking people that have not paid. But if you want this to filter only people that are due to pay, you can also use this here, but let's just leave this blank, and the limit we can set it to 5. So that is our first module. What is not present here? Yeah. Okay, so that's our first module. So now that is saved, we save this and then we run this once so that we can get the data. See, okay. So we have this here. So the next module that we want to have is a module that sets a variable, because we want to only send at a particular time. So we want to be able to tell what's the time difference between when the payment is due and when we are actually sending the reminder, so that we can include that in our message to be like, oh hey, your payment will be due in 21 days, your payment will be due in 7 days, so please pay up, this is how much you're owing, or this is how much you're supposed to pay, so please pay the sum of whatever. So we want to include that in our message as well. So that's why we need to know what the time difference and what the day difference or date difference is. That's why we are setting a variable. So to set a variable, we are going to go to tools and we come down to set a variable, and we want to set the due date here. And I have a detailed video where I explain the whole. And for the variable, this is what you are going to be working with. So we wanted to subtract today from when it's actually due, when the person's payment is actually due, so that we'll be able to know how many days it's going to be, right? So we save this and we save this. So the next thing we want to have is a router depending on the day. So we don't want to be sending them messages every now and then. We want to send them at least between a 7-day interval. So we are going to say 21 days, 14 days, 7 days, if that makes sense. So let's run this to even be sure that it gives us what we want. Okay, 14 and 7. Okay, so that works and gives us what we want. So the next thing we want to have is a router that would send the different messages. So we want to have 3 here, and you want to send an email to them. So you want to send an email. So your recipient, of course, you add your connection here. Your recipient's email is going to be on the sheet that we already are. Yeah, so this is our email. And then the subject is just a reminder. And hi, and you can use the person's first name. This is just a reminder that this is just a reminder that your payment will be due in 21 days. Please make payment on or before. You put the due date. To continue enjoying our services, to continue enjoying, please make a payment of, we should add the payment, the amount here. So yeah, that's the amount due. Please make a payment of on or before to continue enjoying our service. Thank you for your time. You can do yours. So of course you have to do a better email depending on your kind of business and how you communicate with your customers. So let's just leave these as it is and do save. Right, you can simply just clone this and put it here and delete this one, and then clone this again and put it here and delete this. So we just go in and make these changes as necessary. So what we want here is 14 days in 14 days, and what we want here is you edit pressing the wrong thing. What we want here is in 7 days. So we go ahead and set this filter here. So we want this to be 21 days. So the condition is going to be if what this due date is equal to minus 21. And the reason why we have a minus is because we're subtracting the current time from the due date. It's going to be due in 21 days. So it's a minus 21. And so we want to have a numeric operator. So we want to say it's equal to 21 here. And we come here and set up for 14 days. This is going to be 14 days. So we say a due date equal to, going to be a numeric operator as well. So that's equal to minus 14. And we save it here. Set up this one to do 7 days. So we do this due date numeric operator is equal to minus 7. You save this. So the last thing you want to do here is to update your spreadsheet so that when you go in there, you can see when that person was last contacted, when you sent this last email to respond to remind them, so that you would know, didn't I remind this, so that you'll be able to have an headscape on, so I sent this person a reminder, so I'm expecting that this person should pay up, right? Or when last I sent the person a reminder, just so you can have that information at hand. So what we want to do is update our spreadsheet every time we send that message. So we are going to go look for our spreadsheet, which is here. So we look for our sheet as well, which is here. So the row number is going to be this. And then what we want to update is the last day we sent that reminder, which we are going to pick from the email. We're going to pick from the email, but I guess I have to go back now and run the email module so that I can get that data. So we unlink this and we check because I don't want to send an email where it's not necessary, right? Yeah. Okay. So let's come back and run it. So we save it as it is and then we run it. Okay. So now that we have done that, if I reconnect this, of course I look for my sheet again, and the row number is going to be here. It's going to be noun, so we want it to be noun, so we come here. So we want it to update it to right now. So that's what we are going to do. So we save this and we duplicate this. We clone it rather, and we put it here. We clone it and we put it here. So we save. So if we now run this again, so we go to our spreadsheet here. See, this is the, you see, it picks up even with the time because it just did one. So if it runs again later, you're going to update it again to the current time at which the thing had, executed. So that is working perfectly. If I go to any of my inbox, yeah, and I reload this, yeah, I'm going to see this. Just a reminder. Hi Laura, this is just a reminder your payment is due 7 days. Please make payment of this amount on or before this is the time to continue enjoying our service. Thank you. Of course, we can format this data. You can format it data if you want to, but or you can leave it out, whichever thing works for you, because this is just the date and the time. So this is the email, and so that is working perfectly. And with a system like this, you will be sure that all of your customers are reminded days before their payments, and that will make them not to forget to pay you. So this is definitely the automation that is going to get you your money, and as quick as possible, and also on time. So do set this up for your business, and I will see you in my next one. Bye bye.